What's going on, guys? Jacob over here. I'm sure you all have heard by now the Packers, they used their first round draft pick last night to pick quarterback Jordan Love out of Utah State. And a lot of people's reactions were very divided. There's people who loved the pick, people who hated the pick, sorry. And I think I was probably in the camp of people who hated the pick. And I still don't think I like it very much. But I've had some time to process it, to think it over, to watch some more, highlights and games from Jordan Love. You can actually go on YouTube and find plenty of, games where you see every single play from Jordan Love. It's a very, very good way, I think, to try and get a read on the guy. Of course, I'm not a film study expert or anything like that, like I've said in the past, but I think that you could get a pretty good idea of what you're getting by looking at a lot of those videos. I think I watched maybe 6 or 7 full games of play from Jordan Love. Um, I think I've got kind of a better opinion of what I did of Jordan Love rather than I did last night. I think last night it was more just a reaction to the Packers not really picking anybody that I thought could contribute right away. And I still kind of feel that way. I still kind of feel like the Packers didn't pick anybody who could contribute right away, and that still kind of rubs me the wrong way because I think the Packers have something very special, and they didn't really add to that with their first-round pick. Now, of course, there's still a lot of draft left to go, so things could change rather quickly for the Packers, but I was just really hoping for them to pick somebody who could make an instant impact in the NFL, and I was hoping, at that point when the Packers traded up for maybe Patrick Queen, who ended up going a few selections later to the Ravens. Instead, they picked Jordan Love, and that's what we got to work with. So, from what I saw in the games that I watched, Jordan Love has an extremely, extremely strong arm. I mean, he's an extremely talented passer. He has plenty of raw athletic ability. I would say his upside is probably close to that of Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes level. I think if everything goes right and he pans out the way the Packers are hoping him to, he could be an Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes type player. He makes those kinds of throws. My downside for him is that he is very reckless with the football. He makes a lot of bad decisions, especially when he's throwing to the outside. That's something I really notice. He telegraphs his passes to the outside, and it's very, very easy for cornerbacks to jump that route. He does it so many times. I feel like every single interception he threw was to the outside, and it was just DB sitting there waiting to pick it off. Like he just stares down his receiver, and it's it's kind of rough to watch. But I will say this: I think that's a problem that can be corrected. And with 3 to 4 years in Green Bay, with what I think is a very good coaching staff, and of course an all-time great quarterback to learn from, he could very easily correct these mistakes. There's no part of his game, in my opinion, that's like just something that's going to be a killer that you can't fix. That's going to hinder his ability to play at a high level. There's no area where I think there's anything like that. I think he has all the tools to be a successful quarterback. I think he's got the arm, he's got the mobility. Like I said, I still think he needs to work on the ability to read defenses and hold on to the football when nothing's there. He forces a lot of throws, but I think those are issues that can be fixed. My biggest problem with the pick was the fact that the Packers didn't get someone who will contribute for another 3 to 4 years. I mean, I still kind of feel that way. I feel like the Packers kind of kick the bucket on it. And I'm certainly not saying that Jordan Love will ever not be a good quarterback, but my biggest problem was that you're not getting any better right now with picking Jordan Love. And I think the Packers needed to come into last night with the goal of getting better right now. But I will say this: the NFL draft is kind of a shot in the dark for a lot of teams. I mean, a lot of guys, a lot of teams, prepare a lot for the draft and they pick who they think is going to be the best of the best. But in the end, really, it doesn't really matter that much because there are so many players that seem like they're totally NFL ready that couldn't be better prospects and end up busting. And then there's players like Jordan Love who are super raw, who people criticize as not being NFL ready, who people think will never be good in the NFL, who could end up being, really, really talented players. Patrick Mahomes is a very good example of that. When Patrick Mahomes was drafted, I saw a lot of the same criticism that I'm seeing for Jordan Love. He's inaccurate, makes bad decisions, won't be NFL ready for a few years, even if he is ever NFL ready. Those were a lot of the big criticisms of Patrick Mahomes, and those are some of the biggest criticisms of Jordan Love right now. And when I watch the two play, I think that he has a lot of Patrick Mahomes in him. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I think that it's a bit of a long shot for him to turn into that, but the Packers drafted him certainly, I think, with the intent to try and turn him into the next great Packers quarterback. And I think I saw one of the Packers writers sum it up perfectly. I can't remember which one it is that said it, but they said something like, the Packers took a lottery pick, or they got a lottery ticket, and if it pans out, it's going to be another 10 to 15 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play. And I guess how can you really fault the Packers for going that direction when they have that opportunity? If you were presented with a player who could have an opportunity to be the next great Packers quarterback, and you truly believe that he could be that quarterback, then it's hard for me to blame them for picking him. Like I said, personally, I don't think I agree with it. I would have rather have them go in a different direction for a player that could help the team immediately, but I certainly see where they're coming from, and I think my reaction is a little bit more reserved now that I've had time to process it. And like I said, I think that Patrick Mahomes or Jordan Love has the ability to become a Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers type player, and he's going to be put in a situation that's going to give him the best chance of that. He's going to have a great coaching staff to learn from, a great quarterback to learn from. He's going to sit for a few years, learn all that he can. He's going to have a chance to be a good, really, really good player. And, like I said, the Packers think they're getting the next great player, the next great Packers quarterback, so really hard to fault them for picking him, in my opinion. So, anyways, guys, though, thanks for watching. That's really all I have to say in this video. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Has your reaction to this pick changed at all overnight into today? Do you think that the Packers might have made the right decision, or are you still thinking that they made the wrong decision, or vice versa? Let me know in the comments section below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at AlbertSports41512 and on Instagram username Jacob_Ober. And I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack Go.